Hello, welcome to the Joe Cortez Show here in Las Vegas, Nevada, the entertainment and the boxing capital of the world. There's so much going on here in Las Vegas. I mean, it's hot here. Today it's like 105 degrees, maybe 106. Welcome to our show again. My co-host, Shelly Stevens.
Hey, guys.
As you all know, Shelly is a performer. She's been performing here in Las Vegas for about the last 5 or 6 years. And she's been at Lola's for a while, number of years, on Saturday nights from 6 to 10, right?
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Again, now you've been performing with your husband, Wesley, how many years now?
Oh, my goodness. At least 40-something, I would think. We started back in Philadelphia, where we're originally from. And actually, when I met him, I was a flight attendant with Pan Am, but I had done Broadway musicals before that. And actually, a friend of mine took me out for my birthday. And she told me there was a guy who played piano there, a very nice restaurant. And so he knew her. So when he took his break, he came over and sat down at the table with us. And we talked, and he told me, he's with the Stylistics for 8 years and the Commodores for 3 years, a group from New York called BT Express, a disco band. For about 3 years with them, I think. And then, when I told him I did Broadway musicals, he said, "Oh, so you can sing?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Why don't you come up to the piano and sing a song with me?" I was like, "Okay, why not?" So I sang a song with him at the restaurant, and then a gentleman came over and he said, "I'm opening up a new club around the corner." He goes, "Would you guys like to be my entertainment?" And I'm like, "No, I'm a flight attendant. I'm traveling the world now. I want to see the world. I'm good. No, thank you." So a couple more times, me and my friend went to the restaurant, and then me and Wesley started dating. And then one day I was based in New York, but I was commuting back and forth from Philly because I could drive there. And so one day he said, "Don't go to work today, play hooky, stay home with me, we can learn some songs, maybe work at this guy's club," and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, he talked me into staying home. And I guess it was a good sign because that day I was supposed to be on the Pan Am flight that flew over Lockerbie, Scotland, and it blew up. Wow. So that was my sign. So I was like, okay, I guess I have to marry you now, right? So anyway, that's how it all started.
So that was an experience, I mean, to having the plane, was a terrorist attack at the plane?
Yeah.
And it went out, it got blown away.
Yeah. A lot of my friends, they were all killed. And
wow.
Yeah, so I was like, well, okay, I guess that's a sign from God. I need to get back into music. Yeah. So I did, we learned some songs, we played at the guys' club, and then from there, we got an agent, and she booked us all around town. We went to Jersey, we went to Florida. And then we got an offer to go to Japan. So we went to Japan for a while.
When did the cruise line start? You were involved in the cruise lines for a while.
Yeah, I quit after that. After that day, I quit. And so.
But how many years did you and your husband do with the cruise lines?
With the cruise lines. We were cruise lines for like 20-some years.
20-some, yeah.
Yeah, because we were performing in Florida. And somebody heard us perform in Florida, and he was a musician from the cruise line, Norwegian cruise line. He says, "I can't do this gig, would you guys like to have it?" And we're like, "Yeah, sure." We've never done cruises before. So we did, and we loved it, and we've been cruising ever since.
And you were able to travel all over the world with cruise lines?
Yeah, exactly. So I got to see a lot of places I didn't see when I was flying with Pan Am. So now we've been to over 65 countries.
Wow.
Yeah, we sing in 7 or 8 languages, and, but then COVID hit, and everything kind of went under. The cruise ships went under for a while, and we decided, we had relocated to Vegas after Japan. We didn't want to go back to Philly because it was snowing and cold. We were like, no, let's settle in Vegas, so we did. That
COVID really did a number on everybody.
It did on everybody, but we were lucky to find Lola's because we had been performing at Lola's, which is a restaurant, a New Orleans-style restaurant right down the street from my house.
Here in Summerlin, Las Vegas.
Yeah, exactly.
Just off the Summerlin Expressway.
Mm-hmm, in Town Center Drive, yeah. So we would play there when we were like on our breaks between cruises, and they're like family to us. And so anyway, we started just performing there. That was our only gig after the cruise ships kind of went under. And then we started to get to know more people, and then we started working in different places around town now.
So you also performing at the German American Club?
Yes, we're there.
Does that once a month?
Yes, once a month on the second Tuesday of every month, and we do a Motown and More show. And we feature a lot of songs from the Motown era, plus we throw in everything. We don't like to just do one style of music. That's not our thing.
Well, I've been there a couple of times. I really enjoyed it. They have a nice crowd. We have a little video of them performing at the German American Club.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, Joe's like the host. Wherever we perform, you're always there.
Let's see a little clip of it.
Making sure everybody's having a good time always. Yeah, we do have a little clip, I think. Oh, that was it. That's the Lola.
Well, that was our Lola's.
Yes, that's where you have your own table every week. Joe has his own table, and people just love it at Lola's, especially, you know, because everybody knows Joe. So,
I'd like to see if we got a clip of the German American Club.
Oh yeah, a little Motown. Yeah, I think we might have a clip of that. We're going to be there next Tuesday.
Well, that was very nice. That was a German American Club. You performed there the first Tuesday of every month?
Second Tuesday.
Second Tuesday of every month.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice place. I like the crowd there.
Yeah.
And they have a nice little dinner there as well. Good entertainment. People love it there.
I do too. The people there are so sweet, so nice. Yeah.
Yeah, so how do you see your entertainment the way it was when you first started out to the way it is today?
Well, it's a little different here, you know, because in Vegas there's so many great entertainers.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit hard to get in there and find, you know, different venues to perform. Whereas in Philly it was different. In Japan, they loved us so much we stayed for 10 years. You know, so we're not used to going out and getting things done like back in the day. But we do have a band, and we're sending out the videos now. It's called The Tribute to the Sound of Philadelphia, where Wesley was with for so many years when he performed with the Stylistics.
Right.
He did, you know, play keyboards, arranged, wrote, you know, and so we have a little, you know, video coming out.
Yeah, that'd be nice for the hotels to see. Once you get it set up, the hotel can see. There's so many lounge acts here in Vegas.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to see you guys perform steady at one location. You know, make several locations, and you do private parties too, right?
Absolutely, yeah. As a matter of fact, we just booked one yesterday, so yeah, they come around a lot.
Everybody's always wants it twice as nice. They're always performing at different locations. I like when they perform at the Lola's and the German American Club. Private parties, I've been to a couple of your private parties, really nice. A good friend, Robert Edmonds, out in Henderson.
Yes, I just talked to him the other day. He always asks about you. Yeah, we have a lot of mutual friends. You know.
I tell you that, you know, entertainment is really one of my favorites. I mean, when I used to referee the fights, I used to be beautiful. I see so many entertainers sitting there at ringside, and I became friends with many of them.
Yeah.
Throughout the years, it was really nice. That's how I met Sylvester Stallone, and that's when he said, "I want you to be a referee for my Rocky Balboa movie." That's how it started. But we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it a little bit because I was going to say we have so many mutual friends because boxing and entertainment, they mix together so well.
Very much.
You know?
I remember Whitney Houston was one of the fights that I was refereeing with Floyd Mayweather and Ricky Hatton. And Whitney Houston was with Ray J.
Yeah.
Ray J. He was there singing the national anthem for the United States.
Oh, wow.
And what's his name? Top Jones was representing the British fighter Ricky Hatton. And he said the national anthem for Great Britain. I was able to hold it, both of the ring, raise a hand up in the air. And it was so nice. They were both gentlemen, very nice. I mean, those guys could really sing. And that's why I got to be so many individuals in the entertainment field.
Well, speaking about you and boxing, why don't you tell us how you got started?
Well, that's a question. Not too many people ask me that question. A lot of them ask me, when did you retire? Not that they don't want to be right anymore, but I'll tell you, I started boxing when I was 15 years old.
Okay.
Back in 1959.
Oh.
Then in 1960, I joined the Golden Gloves. And I was training for 1 year. My brother Mike joined the Golden Gloves with me, and my brother was a featherweight, and I was a flyweight. Now, being a flyweight, for those that don't know, is a 112-pounder. Really, 112. Anyway, I'm not too far off of that today. I'm only weigh like 158 this morning. So anyway, as a fighter, when I turned pro, I had 18 wins and 1 loss. And that was a battle weight. The heaviest I ever weighed was the 123. And that's the heaviest I ever been as a professional fighter. And but boxing was great, winning the Golden Gloves, along with my brother back in those days. The Mecca of boxing was New York City. Madison Square Garden was known for the Mecca. And they had so many championship fights there. I mean, Muhammad Ali fought there, Rocky Marciano, Joe Louis, Jack Dempsey, so many, Emil Griffith, so many great fighters. And the gentleman who got me started in boxing was Gaspar Ortega. Gaspar Ortega was a Mexican fighter who came from Tijuana back in 1955. And I was 12 years old when I met him. And I was his interpreter. He didn't speak English, so I spoke Spanish and English, so I was able to help him out with a lot of things for his contracts. I go with him. He would take me to the gym. I would watch. I sit down and watch him. A gym called Steelman's Gym. That was on 55th Street and 8th Avenue. I would sit there and I watch Gaspar Ortega train. And then little by little, my brother got started first. Then I went into Golden Gloves. Together, we won the New York Golden Glove Championship. And by that night, there was 15,000 fans in Madison Square Garden. It was an honor for me because I never thought, I would even fight at the Garden. I never thought I'd become a fighter. So it happened, I said, I won the Open Spanish Golden Gloves. And then the following year, we both took the Open Championships again, 1961, my brother Mike and I. And then before you know it, the Eastern Golden Glove Championship was around the corner. We had a fight. After you win the New York Open, then you fight for the Eastern Championship. Mike and I both won the Eastern Championship that year. But the good part about that tournament was that I was able to knock out 2 guys the same night. It's semifinals and finals at Madison Square Garden with 12,000 fans that night. And Mike won decision, won by knockout. My brother Mike now, he's retired, he lives in Tampa, Florida. He's with his religion. And I said, Michael, you're good. You got God in your corner today. That's good. He's helping you out. We all need God in our corner. And but anyway, then we went again for the Golden Glove Championships the 3rd year. We went for 3 in a row. We went to the National Championships in the 61. We both took the championships in Chicago. The old Chicago fans out there watching, you guys know, when I was out there in Chicago, I was 17 years old. But I beat a guy by the name of Oscar German. Oscar German had beaten Emmanuel Stewart. Everybody knows Emmanuel Stewart, the great trainer, may he rest in peace. And one day, Emmanuel Stewart told me in Germany, I was referee to fight in Germany, and he had a fighter. He said, Joe, are you that skinny Puerto Rican that fought Oscar German and beat him for the Nationals? I said, that's me. It was Intercity about New York versus Chicago, and we beat Chicago 9-6. So you Chicago fans, I still love you guys, even though we beat you. But, you know, it's a tournament. We love people. We don't want to hurt you. We want to beat you, you know? But anyway, we had a lot of fun. I did not turn pro when I was 18 years old. Okay? I lost my fight, my fifth fight I lost. Then I got upset. I joined the Army. And it was good. I couldn't fight in the Army. I was already pro. But they had me coaching on the team. And it was good. But I got out, and I got married when I was 21 years of age. And that was it. And then I kept on my professional career for a while. Then after I was going anywhere, I wasn't making any money. I had two little baby girls. I said, man, I got to take care of my babies. I got to give you a real job, make some money. And that's how it all ended at that. That's where it ended.
Well, how did you end up becoming a boxer to a referee?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, you know, a referee, there was a gentleman by the name of Pat Mascia, an Italian guy who was a policeman in New York.
Okay.
But he also used to referee the Golden Glove fights. So I had moved to Puerto Rico in 1969, and I started working at the El Conquistador Hotel, a 5-star hotel today. It was a 5-star hotel back then. And I was working there, and little by little, I worked my way up from I got the bug. I want to fight again. I was working out in Vegas. I've been in Puerto Rico for a while. And the trainer, Joe Martinez, he said, Joe, you looking good, man. You just working out here, but you're just good as any other pro in here. I said, I've been retired. I've been retired 3.5 years. He said, Joe, you have a fight. There's a fight coming up in Puerto Rico against the Dominican Republic, a place called La Cancha, the Country Club. And I said, all right, I'll take it. I wasn't really interested in coming back, but I took it, you know, for fun. And I took it and I won. I didn't get touched. I didn't nobody. You know, I never got knocked out in my whole career. Amateur pro, 45-3, 43. No, I was 43-2 as an amateur, and 18-1 as a pro. I never hit the canvas. I had a good grounded chin, but then again, I can't say grounded because I really never got hit that much. My thing was hit, and don't get hit. Always constantly moving, and that's why when the referee, that's when I met Pat Mascia at the hotel. He was a guest at the hotel. He said, I saw your name. He said, call the operator, can I speak to Mr. Cortez? I got on the phone. He said, Mr. Cortez, are you one of the Cortez brothers from New York that won all those championships? I said, yes, I am. He said, I'm Pat Mascia. I should referee your fights. I'm a guest at the hotel here. And that's how it all started. We exchanged phone numbers. A year later, I was moving back to New York. That was December '76. And he said, Joe, you know, I was thinking about you. You know, why don't you get involved with the amateur refereeing and see what happens? I said, referee? I said, man, I don't know. He said, Joe, we called Johnny Defoe. He was the director of the Police Athletic League up on Brooklyn Boulevard in the Bronx. Called him up, and he got me started with the 10-year-old kids, 11-year-old kids, little tournaments. I was refereeing these guys. And then he said, Joe, you're doing pretty good, you know? You should sign up for the Golden Gloves tournament. And I did. And I ended up reaching the finals.
Wow.
I mean, Pat Mascia said, Joe, nobody does the quarterfinals. Nobody does the semifinals. You went all the way to the finals. He said, you know, you're unbelievable. You know, I remember I refereed Juan Laporte when he fought his Golden Glove, and he won the championship in 1977. And next thing I know, a week later, after the finals, I get a call. Deputy Commissioner Frank Morris called me up and said, Joe, you know, I'd like to talk with you. I said, but you're the director with the New York State Athletic Commission. He said, yes, I am. And he said, but I want to talk with you. Can you come up to the office? So I didn't know what he wanted. I never dreamt of what he was going to tell me. Went up there, Shelly. He sat me down. He said, Joe, you know, you've been refereeing for a while already, right? I said, well, I've only been refereeing 6 months. He said, well, you know, Joe, it look like you're like a pro out there. They want to turn you pro. I said, Mr. Morris, but they told me 3 to 5 years to even consider going pro. He said, Joe, you got a lot of natural ability, natural talent. He said, I would like to turn you pro now. I said, if I turn pro, am I going to get any work? Because I'm still trying to get myself polished up.
Yeah.
He said, Joe, I promise you I'll give you all the 4-rounders and 6-rounders on every card we have in New York. And they had like 2 to 3 shows a month. I was working steady, and I went on for about 1.5 years. They said, you know, I got a call. They said, Joe, you're doing a main event on NBC World of Sports. I said, wow. I was like, wow. Main event? They said, yes. And it was a fight by Ronaldo Snipes I forgot, I think it was Jerry Cortez, Red Hollow Snipes. And anyway, it was a good fight. And a lot of people thought, but back then, when they had 2 judges and the referee was the scoring official, the referee was the 3rd judge.
Oh.
And I remember I gave the fight to Ronaldo Snipes. On a split, it was a split decision. The other 2 judges gave it to, 2 judges, the other 2 judges were split. One gave it to Ronaldo Snipes, I gave it to Ronaldo Snipes, and the other judge gave it to Garcia. And man, they were booing, they were
Oh my
the
goodness.
parents said, you know, you two, sure, they put the blame on me. I said, Joe, you gave the fight to Ronaldo Snipes. He didn't win that fight. He had got dropped in the fight. Anyway, that's the way it was, and that was my first main event. But you know, I thought I did a good job. To this day, I stick with my call. You know, and what happened then was that after that, they started giving me regular main events, and then in 1982, I got my first world title fight. My dream was to do one.
Wow.
And I got my first world title fight in Atlantic City, and that was Aaron Pryor, Miguel Montilla. And that was my first, and then from then, it just went on.
That's amazing. I want to know how you got your own slogan, fair but firm.
Fair but firm. Well, you know, we're doing an interview like we're doing right now, and this is the person that it was a radio show. They said, Joe, what does it take to be a good referee? I said, well, you got to be dedicated. You got to be, you know, for real. You can't be kissing up to nobody to get assignments. But the main thing is to be where I get the slogan. I said, with the fighters, I got to be fair with them, but I got to be firm. He said, wow, Joe, that's really good. I like that. I said, well, that's the way I am. I'm fair, but I'm firm. So when I went home, I listened to it on the radio, and I said, man, I'm fair, but I'm firm. I said, but my colleague, Mills Lanes, he had his old catchphrase, let's get it on. Mills Lane, may he rest in peace. I said, he got that little say, why can't I create one of my own?
That's right.
You know, everybody uses that word fair, firm, why not? But they never use it the way I use it.
That's right.
Especially in that kind of position as a referee. You have to be fair, but you got to be firm.
I love it. Wow. So how do you compare boxing back in the day to the way what's happening now?
Well, right now, you know, you got like this guy, Jake Paul. Jake Paul is making a lot of money. Like Tyson came out of retirement, and Roy Jones Jr. came out of retirement to fight this guy, Jake Paul. And Jake Paul has millions and billions of followers, and he offers these guys like $4 million, $5 million, whatever, to fight him. And they say, no, I got to get more than that. And so Mike Tyson ended up with $20 million, and I think Roy Jones the same. So, you know, they come back to boxing, and I think that's more of like a money maker. It's like a business now compared to the day when we were fighting. I mean, Muhammad Ali, if he got $2 million, $3 million for a fight, that was a lot for him. I mean, these fighters today, they say $2, $3 million, get out of here, you know?
Oh.
But that's the way it is, boxing. So boxing today is more like a business, but the officials, the judges, and referee have to keep on staying focused and go to the gym and work out, and those are the rules. Every state is not the same. So I told referees, when you go out there, you go to, let's say you go to Chicago, find out get your rules before you go there, and then follow up and do your homework. You go to California, you're in Las Vegas, you go to Europe, they may have different rules. You know, they may have where you cannot be saved by the bell in any round, including the last round. That's the way it is here in Vegas. Some other countries may have it that you can be saved by the bell in the last round. You know, there's different rules. You got to know whatever jurisdiction you go into, what is the rules that applies there. You don't want to make a mistake because you didn't do your homework. You hear that? You guys out there? And I also have 3 individuals right now that I'm working with as officials.
Yeah.
They're not pros yet, but it's a female by the name of Delilah Mato.
Oh, yeah. We had her on the show not too long
Delilah
ago.
V. Mato.
Yes.
She's an excellent referee in the amateurs, USA Boxing. Then I have Richie, I forgot his last name, but he's out of Texas, and he's all studying to be a referee. And then I got Dale, another guy in Las Vegas, who's studied. He already started working with the amateurs to be an inspector, to be in a quarter, and then judging as well. So he's doing a little bit of everything to see what he likes the best. That he'll either be a judge, inspector, a timekeeper, whatever. They learn all that, and they do their homework, and then they come up to me, Joe, what do you think? I say, oh, you know what? I think you're ready And when I think they're ready, then I'll go to the commission. I think we should get them out for a meeting and see if we can turn it pro.
Wow.
And I've turned several individuals pro.
Wow, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
You know, I remember when Jake Paul was fighting Mike Tyson, and Wesley and I were over your house watching, and we were together with your family. By the way, I just love your family. Your family is so sweet. They made Wesley and myself feel so welcome because they know our kids and grandkids and all the relatives are back on the East Coast. But since we met you, I feel like I found a new family here. And so I just want to mention hi to all of Joe's family, and thank you for accepting us because we love him and we love you guys.
Well, I hope to be meeting them in September.
Yes, in Atlantic City. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
My daughter is planning to come, and my grandsons. That would be amazing for them to meet you.
Yeah, we have a lot of friends. A lot of friends of mine. Horace Porras and his family, wife, and 2 kids. They're coming up to the induction at the Hard Rock Hotel, September 26th to the 28th is the induction. Going to be a great weekend.
Yes, it is.
A lot of celebrities, a lot of ex-champions will be there. I mean, every time you have an induction, so many champions showed up. Last time I was there, Ray Barkley was there, and Ray Robinson was there.
Wow.
So many other individuals. Roberto Duran. Yeah. Roberto Duran and Ray Barkley.
Wow.
Ray Barkley was a middleweight, and Duran was already, they say he was past his prime, and he fought Iran Barkley for the middleweight championship. And that was in Atlantic City in 1959.
Wow.
No, I take it back. 1989.
You have a great memory. I can't remember what happened yesterday, let alone all those years.
You know, I didn't take too many punches to the head. But I still remember, 1989, Iran Barkley and Roberto Duran fought for the middleweight championship. Nobody gave Roberto Duran a chance because he was 35 years old, and Iran Barkley was 28. And I remember Iran Barkley had knocked out Tommy Hearns, but prior to that, Tommy Hearns had knocked out Roberto Duran. So they said, Roberto Duran don't got a chance against Barkley. He's too young. He's a puncher. He knocked out Tommy Hearns. Well, Roberto Duran ended up winning the middleweight championship that night in Atlantic City. It was like 3 feet of snow that day. I never forget. And it was just amazing. It was just a great fight. And I'll tell you guys out there, you know, there's a lot of things we got to do out there today. We got to watch out for these kids out there. There's so many things, the kids are not doing the right things out there. There's so many things that are going wrong. You know, we want to keep the kids like myself. When I was coming up, Gus Ortega got me out of the streets. He didn't want me to be involved with no gangs, with no drugs. I got into boxing. Well, I want to see young kids get out there and get involved with sports. And it doesn't have to be boxing, it could be any sport. But today, I was listening to the news where there's, I think in Washington, D.C., they have like 67% of these individuals with firearms, they only get like probation. You know,
Yeah.
I said, come on, give me a break. You know, we got to put a stop to this. Too many killings go out, too many shootings go out all over the country.
That's
and I don't like that. Because I'm not talking about politics, I'm talking about people, Americans, people in our country that we love so much. I love everybody from all walks of life. I don't care if you're a Republican, a Democrat. I don't look at that. I look at you as an individual because I love people out there. I love everybody, and I want everybody to go. I want to get these young kids to go the right way. We have to try to do something to keep these kids going, keep them on the right track.
That's so
You have
true.
grandchildren, I got grandchildren, we want to see the best for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We feel the same way.
Yeah, you know, we see too many killings out there, and the gangs out there. We don't need that. We got to just do things the right way.
Yeah.
And believe that God will help us. We pray to God every night that we can keep these kids and our family, our loved ones, in good health and in good condition to keep us going. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, people say, Joe, you're getting old. I still got a little spark in the old flesh. If the left one will get you, the right one will. But I mean, I just love boxing. I love people. I love helping out wherever I can. I like to get out there. And there's so many individuals I need some help and guidance. And I'm there for you. I got a friend of mine named Wasfi. We had him on a show a couple of months ago. He's an Arab guy with a cowboy hat. He comes out from Chicago. And if he's watching, he always watches my show. And he's a good guy. And he's doing a lot with kids in Chicago. And not only that, with kids, he also has cats. Cats. You know how many cats he has? You never believe this. 250 cats. And then him and his wife, they feed these cats. I hope they don't have him in his house.
I was going to say, he cleans up after them cats.
Man. Anyway, but Wasi, if you're watching, we love you, and your wife Cindy. We hope to see you out there one day soon.
Mm-hmm.
Shelly, again, you know, this show is so important because we're out to give our viewers out there a little information of what's going on in the entertainment field, in the boxing field, and around the world, and helping people out there the best we can.
Absolutely. Want to give a shout out to Rick too, who's the greatest producer in the world.
Rick is a knockout artist.
Yes,
Rick Manning, he's a good. I love Rick. He's a good guy. He's our director here. He's the engineer in the studio. We love him. You take care. God bless you all. See you all next week.
See you next
Take care.
week.
Keep your guards up at all time. And remember, I'm fair, but I'm firm. Touch him up.
Bye.